absolutely. Yes. And I think, another piece that we haven't really touched on is there's been, you're constantly evolving on the AI side, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger, I think, enabler. But in the workplace, in life, etc. But I think one of the things we are forgetting is how do we allow the human digital experience to collaborate better? How do we take the fear away from the human? That because the fear is, what if I lose my job because of AI and what's it's bringing and robotics, etc. My son said to me, "Mom, do you know?" And he's a software developer, and he says, and he does coding, and he says, "Mom, ChatGPT is taking over my job." I said, "So, how are you evolving? How are you getting ahead of it? What are you shifting in terms of your skills and experience, and how can you collaborate better with ChatGPT going forward?" And so it's about enhancing your skills, and it's about shifting and relearning. So how can we be flexible in our learning as well is going to be a critical piece for us going forward. But most of all, can we please help our employees at work to deal with this fear and insecurity before we implement robotics at the back end, or any other AI solutions, because I think there'll always be a place for the human experience in any corporate experience or environment. And it's just about saying, how do we relearn and shift our skills? The front-facing customer experience, you will always have that human experience, no matter what. It's how do we use digital and tech as an enabler of it? How do we work side by side? And that's the digital fluency we need to bring in, and the flexibility within that as well.
But I agree with you. I think it is also about the fear of the unknown, and actually workshopping that and speaking through that with our people. Because I mean, I think that the one thing for me is humans will always, if robots do this and that, and chat GPT is doing this, we'll find something new. If robots do all the menial work, we'll find a new sport, or we'll find a new form of entertainment that will need a stadium, that will need people selling food, that will need the human experience. So we will always find something new to do. And I mean, if you think about, especially in the industry that you're currently in, if some of the staff have more time to spend on the human experience, the care is higher, the patient experience is higher. So there's often a lot of pros to it. And I think it is about consultation with your people as well. I spoke last season on Future EX with Alison from Puma. And what they've done is they've worked in conjunction with their factory staff to talk about what should be automated and how to keep as many jobs as possible. And together they made the decision about which pieces of the factory would be automated to help with well-being, and which would stay manual to have as many jobs as possible. And it was such a great way to show how that collaboration could happen, and how everybody ended up being much happier as a result and having more time to do other things. So it's definitely possible. It's just that consultation process during the change, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's where the opportunity falls in. It's again around how we engage with our employees, how we educate and empower their thinking around tech enablement, and how they can collaborate with it. And that's what we call digital fluency. That's how you create it in the workspace. And we've got a lot of work to do there, because I think we as leaders need to really embrace it ourselves and understand it. And it starts with digital literacy, and from leaders to employees right across. And because that is the start of then enabling the empowerment around digital enablement.
Yeah, you can't just give in to here it is, off you go.
Oh,
You've got to
absolutely
build
not.
that confidence, and you've got to build those I can moments, and actually start with everybody and take them through the process. You can't just drop it and go.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes back to what I said earlier on. Otherwise, you're going to have the human resistance uh, to the change.